Hi, I'm Langton
And I'm Addy, Switzer
from Mr. Arellano's Honors with People class.
The goal of this project is to interview all potential age groups and compare their answers to the 5 questions.
The goal of the project is to show generations altering opinions of their government, its function, and how they believe it can be improved upon locally and nationally.
We hypothesize that the younger generation will focus on how our government is doing poorly and focus on the impeachment of certain government officials. We also think that there will be a large focus on immigration issues, especially when it comes to the topic of how the subjects believe Arizona can be improved upon, and we also believe that there will be a large focus on the improvement of education locally and nationally. As for the older generation, we think that they will focus on voting and educating oneself on those running for office.
These questions are opinion-based, so it should help people lighten up when being videotaped and won't be afraid they'll look stupid on camera. We hope to expect people won't be shy in sharing their own true opinion.
To be an American, to me, means to understand your freedoms and that we are free and it's a privilege and that we just need to understand how to use them properly, because a lot of people abuse it or a lot of people don't understand it, and then they tend to think that we don't have anything, and then they're like, oh, we're America, and then, we're just cool, land of the free because of the brave.
In my opinion, an American is somebody who appreciates the freedoms that they have, is patriotic, and loves their country.
I'd say to be an American to be at a barbecue on the 4th of July.
I think that's one of the harder questions to answer because you could go a million different directions with it. Some people will say it means you have the freedom of speech. Some people say the freedom of religion. Some people say that patriotism. I think what it all really comes down to is understanding what your freedoms really are and using them responsibly.
Being an American means being different and unique. This country has a lot of different backgrounds, ethnicities, countries of origin. So to me, it just means being unique, being yourself, and everybody coming together and sharing their ideas.
The things Americans should do throughout their lifetime is to just live their life, make smart decisions, and try to be successful. That way, if they have kids, they can grow up and be like, oh, like my parents are successful, now I can be something in life and make my generation more than what it should be.
My favorite thing, go vote. Go use your voice, express what you're thinking, pay attention. Pay attention. If you are in my gov class, you read, and we read a lot, and we talk. Talk about things with your friends, your family, be involved.
Like, travel to another country to see the differences between America, and just travel and figure out different cultures and
exercise our right to vote. I didn't really think about it until this last election, but for the longest time, women were not given the right to vote, and to know the struggles of those who fought for that, I hope everyone I know votes, especially my granddaughter, who's going to be 18 soon and needs to vote. So voting is very important. I think it's important to volunteer in different ways, to serve those who are less fortunate, to follow the laws of our nation, to share with other people, and to take care of yourself, your body, your health. That's all I can think of.
Okay, so the number one thing I would say for our country to get better is focusing on education. And I say that as a teacher, and I see it in the classroom. In the future, is so many people don't take education seriously, and again, they don't understand the right or the privilege that they have. Personally, being in third world countries, I see how these people don't have an opportunity to go to education. They grow up at a farm, they live with their families, they don't get to pursue who they want to be, what they want to do. And I think if we want to continue the trend of being the best country in the world, that education needs to be at the forefront.
I think we need to start moving towards some systems that we see maybe like in Europe, not necessarily going to a whole socialist society, but looking overall, what do we need to do to better our people as a whole?
Well, that our country needs healing. We have a lot of unrest and even unwarranted demonstrating that goes beyond where it should go. We should be able to have our right to say we don't like something, but when it goes into looting and burning and violent riots to take care of people's dissatisfaction, I think that's wrong. I think we're headed the wrong direction. Because we need to respect people's property and their rights, but we need to also express our viewpoints and our rights. And it needs to be done in a civil manner, and that's the thing I see going on that really bothers me about that.
As a country, I feel like we could be doing a lot better at helping our own people here in this country. While I love the fact that we support and are trying to help other countries, I think we're forgetting that there are so many people here in our country that need help from us, and we have lost track of how to help people here in this country because we're so focused on helping everybody else, which while we all appreciate that, and I hope other countries appreciate that as well, I think we kind of need to get back to what needs do our people here need, how do we meet those needs, and how do we meet those needs with all the different opinions in our government, and how do we do that respectfully and in the right way to really serve the people here in this country.
I don't think there's a real reason or thing to make America great or better. I would just say get rid of math or make it an elective.
I think we should try very, very hard to elect legislators who will work with each other instead of only their own party.
Arizona needs help with education. I think that's pretty clear. You guys are not getting the same quality of materials, the same instruction as kids across the country. So we need a way to standardize that.
So I would say to help improve Arizona as a state, I would say mainly focus on the education stuff, because for me personally, being in the education system in Arizona since I was in kindergarten, that there's never been a consistency within our curriculum in the education system. So like stuff I learned in 3rd grade is not what everyone else learned, because like teachers were there and they weren't, and then like we adopted stuff and then we didn't. So just making sure that we have a consistent curriculum is honestly what would help a lot of kids. And then like even like this year today, like in my senior year, we didn't even have our books. Like we adopted this new curriculum and we didn't have the books till like 2 months in. So it kind of makes it hard to learn something and be tested on it if you don't have the proper materials. And so I guess, yeah, just the curriculum needs to be better.
The thing I could do is make sure I'm doing my part. If it means helping in political parties, which I do, I go to caucus meetings. I think when you think a law should be changed, then I should be there trying to help put my input to the legislators over me to make sure they know my opinion and not just be mediocre about it. Give them the opportunity to hear my voice.
So Arizona, I feel like one of the things that we could do differently here, while this doesn't just affect Arizona, it affects the country as a whole and have to take place at upper level government, is our immigration laws. I think that while Arizona, Texas, California were all very affected by immigration here, while I think everybody deserves the right to live in America, however, that immigration process is extremely difficult, it's extremely expensive. I think that as a country, and to make our states down here, especially Arizona and Texas and California, states like that, easier to come into, we need to make that process easier and more affordable to those people and more accessible to them.
So I guess my number one advice for anybody like my age, younger, or just barely like becoming 18, like being of voting age, would just be to not feel influenced by your peers, because your opinion does matter. And just voting. You need to just be aware of what you're voting on, and you should be voting because, I mean, it's your life it's going to influence and it's going to affect. And so I would just say vote, be educated on it, and don't fall into peer pressure. Or
I think the hugest thing is, instead of being upset about things, to be the person who tries to help make things better.
Some advice I'd give to the future generation is to keep in mind about the other people that they're voting for in their future too.
I personally would suggest to people that are soon to be adults is don't spend money you don't have. Being in debt is something that will follow you no matter where you go, and paying back debt is a bill that never goes away until it goes away. So I would find a way to convey that message to the younger people that don't live your life as a measuring stick to somebody else that you see on TV or in movies or in social media. Don't purchase a car that you can't afford. Don't try to live beyond your means. Don't live a lifestyle that's fake to you, right? I think it's extremely important for young people to know what money really is. And I think it's extremely important for young people to realize what money isn't. Money is not a gateway to fame or notoriety, or it's not going to fill any holes in your life that you may be feeling, whether it's lack of attention or lack of relationships or lack of achievement. What really is going to matter to you as you get older are experiences and relationships. So don't spend money you don't have. Put effort, time, and energy into making great friends, great friendships, great relationships, and just live your life. Enjoy things, see things.
To live your life, have fun, and you might have a target on your back, but don't let that stop you from growing up and doing you. But do make smart decisions, finish school so you can, and then go to college, get a degree, so that way you can own your own business and you can just make money and make your family happy.
The advice, the number one thing I would say is to vote. Do your research. Don't listen to what other people necessarily have to say about a topic. Do your own research. Read the articles. Don't necessarily go off what your parents say. Go off what you believe in your heart.
The biggest thing, I'm a Gov teacher, I think you should vote. You need to be informed of what's happening. You need to get out there and express either your approval or your disapproval of what's happening in your community.
Well, my biggest piece of advice to the young people is to educate yourself on the issues and to exercise your right to vote, to not follow blindly because it's something that your parents told you should vote for, but to learn those things for yourself, get involved in community activities and community issues. Follow the law. If a policeman stops you, do what they say, then you won't get killed.
Go vote, obey the laws. If you don't like the law, then go about helping change it. Again, be responsible, have a job, take care of yourself so that you can make a difference, either through monetary donations or volunteering time to work at places where there are needs. There's a lot of homeless people in Utah. They seem to be coming there, and I think it gives us a challenge to look at them and see what really needs to be done to help them get a hand up instead of just a handout. There's lots of programs that do that, and I think that we need to be a part of helping with that.
The advice that I would give to anybody who is about to become a citizen is to remember respect. Don't forget that just because it's not your opinion doesn't mean that it's not an opinion that you can't respect or can't think about, or just remember that your party that you choose to be a part of, Democratic, Republican, Liberal, Green, that doesn't mean that that's how you should vote every single time just because that's their opinion. Stick to what you believe in, no matter what that is, what you believe is right. and how that is going to affect everybody as a whole, not just your party that you choose to be a part of, you know, or the people that you surround yourself with. Just respect everybody's opinion, take it to heart, and make sure that you do what you know is best for all people, or most people, because you can't make everybody happy, but you, deep down, you will know what is right for most people.
Learn as much as you can about your government. Learn as much as you can about your family and life in general. Don't make really quick judgments and give things time.
It didn't really matter which age range we surveyed. There was a pretty similar answer all across the board, with education coming up multiple times in the questions that we asked. We also noticed that they tended to answer the questions based on their professions, like teachers giving very educational based answers, and the ex-military gave us very societal examples from third world countries.
This helped us understand that older generations still have similar values and ideologies as younger generations do. Some of the answers that were given were very helpful, were being educated on political elections and being able to take other people's opinions and not getting offended by them.
I think this video project helped open up a conversation that would usually be shied away from, because talking about government in politics is very taboo, especially in a typically conservative state. It also showed that we can come together if we can agree to mutually work together and put aside our differences to help the United States and Arizona improve.
We hope that you ended up enjoying this compilation, and make sure you like and